Hello and welcome to a special episode of FinTech Focus TV with me, Toby. Today, I am absolutely delighted by an old friend of the show, someone you've seen before, Scott Govoni. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, Toby. Thank you very much for having me. Appreciate it. Hope the fall is going well over there in the UK.
So far, so good. So far, so good. And when it's
Good.
fall always means the Fix America's Trading Conference. You are at the very kernel of that right now. I saw the thing come through into my inbox today with an agenda that's absolutely packed full of great content. And as I said to you before, this is about be one of the very, very few in the last 10, 15 years I haven't been to out there. So I'm absolutely devastated not to be there. But don't worry, not everyone's coming to see Toby Babb. They're all coming to see this action-packed content agenda that you've got through from it. So that's what I wanted to do, Scott. I wanted you to tell a little bit about when it is, where it is, and who's coming along.
Sure, great. Thanks, Toby. Yeah, so the America's Trading Conference is on Thursday, October 30th this year in New York City at 605 Ease. It's a venue on 3rd Avenue. We are very much looking forward to this event. We have a really good program in store for our members and those in the community who are considering membership and so forth. One of the panels, or I'm sorry, one of the fireside chats that we're going to have, I think is very interesting. We're going to have Jim Toes, who's the president and CEO of the Security Traders Association, do a fireside chat with Jim Kay, our Jim Kay, or our Jim, who is the executive director of the
Jim on
fixed trading
Jim.
community. Right. So it's the Jim Show. And they're going to be talking about how the two organizations can work together to, essentially make trading more efficient and better for the entire industry. It's two organizations with a long history, and I don't know that we've had I guess, cooperation or coordination amongst the organizations that I think we're going to have moving forward. I look at the STA organization as almost like the policy-making arm of the financial services industry, and I look at the fixed trading community much like the implementation arm. So when they are working with the regulators and trying to figure out things that need to be changed or updated. Maybe there's a regulatory mandate that has to be addressed. The fixed trading community needs to be involved with that in order to make sure that the electrical grid, if you will, is prepared to accommodate whatever mandate is being addressed. So very much looking forward to that.
Absolutely. And I look through, as I say, look through the agenda and look, I sometimes think it's difficult in events to sort of come through with new topics, new information. But what I loved about this event is there's some really interesting questions being asked about some really fast evolving sort of spaces. All the natural things you're expecting to be up there are up there, but you've got some really great topics. Tell us about some of the things that you can expect people to be talking about this time out.
Absolutely. So we do have I do want to actually talk a little bit about why we run events. Because
Sure, far away.
I think it's very important for people to know we are not an events company. We do not seek to profit. We're really trying to break even, at least to put on these shows. But there are two reasons we run events. Whether it's the full day conference like the America's Trading Conference that we do similar in EMEA and APAC, or we do networking events. We do regional meetings. Um, and those are to drive awareness and adoption of our standards and practices. Most people in the industry know what the fixed protocol is, but there are other things that we are overseeing. The second reason is really to encourage participation in our committees, subcommittees, and working groups, because that's where the work actually gets done, and that's where we fulfill our mission to make trading more efficient. So the fixed trading community, we are here to develop and maintain open standards used in electronic trading. So we need to have an engaged community to not only identify, but to address the challenges of the electronic trading industry. And it's also very important that we educate our membership on what's been done, what we're working on today, and what's coming down the pike. So we use these events as a way to help build the community, right? To bring them together, educate them, create that sense of community so that, when it comes time to address some sort of regulatory mandate, we already have that community. So then it just becomes a product of, spinning up a working group and getting people together to talk about the right things. So that
Yeah.
being said, yes, we have an excellent uh, uh, program in store. We're going to be talking about 24/5 trading. Larry Tabb's going to be moderating a panel there, which, we're going to have folks from Blue Ocean, Jane Street, Symphony, and so that's going to be really good. We'll talk about digital assets, always a very interesting topic.
I think probably
We
more interesting than ever before this year as well. It feels like there's real progress finally as a genuine asset class, and we've been speaking about that sort of TradFi, DeFi merger and convergence for a long time. It
Yeah,
feels like it's a really interesting happening conversation right now.
it absolutely is, and especially with the administration change and, the regulatory easement, I guess is the best way to put it. People are really keen to understand, where does the fixed trading community and where does the fixed protocol reside within the digital assets world. It's still a something that we're trying to, figure out. There has to be some interoperability, and it's important for people to be aware. What do we have to be prepared for in terms of allowing trading of digital assets. So another topic is the idea that, lit versus dark markets are really at that
Yeah, I love this.
50/50 point. So, it's all about market structure and that sort of thing. So we have a really good panel that will dive into that. The other thing, obviously, AI is always top of mind. It's
Yeah,
every event has something on AI. What we're doing this year and what we've actually done at some of the regional meetings in Boston and Chicago earlier is we're really trying to get an idea, what is the buy side doing with AI? How are they incorporating AI into their operations or trading? Have they reached that? Are they looking for that holy grail of having AI tell them what stocks to trade and where to trade them? I'm not sure we're there yet, but the operations side of the buy side are absolutely using AI
mm.
in a lot of different places. So we have Kevin Houston from Rapid Addition will be moderating a panel of four buy side firms, and I think that will be really interesting to the audience to
Oh,
really understand.
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah, 100%, and I love that as you say. So I thought it was a really interesting take on the AI debate. As I said before, sometimes it's difficult to differentiate when you're talking about things there. And I remember, I've been fortunate to be at the event for the last couple of years, doing interviews with the panelists afterwards, and for FinTech Focus TV, which I've loved. And I know that they were talking about the AI thing and saying, well, has there been that much progression over the 2 years? I think it was a very similar panel for 2 years on the AI piece, wasn't it? But
hmm
and seeing how it had moved on, and actually they sort of recognise when they're in there that being moved further forward. I think now this is a really interesting piece to be looking at, because we're seeing it in real time, from going from hypotheticals
right,
beforehand.
exactly. Yeah,
We're in action right now, and I think Kevin, who I know and love, is going to be a fascinating moderator and host for that. And to have the buy sides coming in there, where we've seen this sort of buy side community that's been sort of late to the party a little bit with technology, I think it's fair to say, really embracing tech at the moment and really looking at AI. I think it's transformational in terms of what it can do. So that was one of the ones that really jumped off the page. The dark pool piece I thought was fantastic. There's so many things there that makes me even more jealous that I'm going to be hands pressed up against the window looking looking in for
yeah,
this one. So look, it sounds just like an absolutely brilliant day that you've got ahead
yeah.
of you. So um Scott, anything else you want to throw in there about it all? I know that
Well,
alongside all of the content, one of the great things that you guys are doing is being wonderful at facilitating conversations. There's great people in the room. It gets bigger every single year. It seems to me, at least. Anyway, you'll know the numbers better than I do. But I
yeah.
think you're great at putting, when you've got that opportunity there for people to come together. One of the things I think it would be, silly not to say, is what a great networking opportunity it is there as well.
Absolutely right. And yes, I do believe it is getting bigger and bigger every year. I mean, coming out of COVID, which I know I hate to keep talking about COVID 5 years later, but the reality is that what that did to the organization and the community here in the Americas, it really did some damage in terms of having that ability to host events and create that sense of community. So up until this year, we hadn't had events outside of New York City, but that was one of my goals when I started last year, was to have what we call regional meetings, which are basically half-day events outside of New York. So we did that in June in Boston. We did this a couple weeks ago in Chicago. We're looking to get back into Toronto, and as part of that, that's going to help fuel the Americas Trading Conference. So we do expect the attendance to be up, probably 15-20% this year over last year, and then we're going to continue growing that, because there is a huge appetite for the fixed trading community, simply because when you bear everything, take everything back, we're here to make trading better, and who doesn't want to make trading better?
Yeah,
That's really what we're all about. I mean, again, like I said, the fact that we have these events, and it feels at sometimes like we are an events organization, we are not. We want the engagement. We want the working groups to be solving problems in the industry, and that is exactly what is happening. We've had some really good working group and subcommittee initiatives going on that are really bringing the community together, and that's what we're all about.
making trading great again.
Yeah.
I nearly didn't go down that route, but I couldn't resist. I couldn't resist.
Right.
um, Scott, finish off by telling us how people can get involved. There's some pretty compelling stuff we've spoken about there. I know Fixer, the Fixer website is going to have all the details, etc., etc. But who should be going there? How do they get involved? Let's get them signed up.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, fixtrading.org. Fixtrading.org is the URL. You can check out the events and register accordingly. We want a wide range of folks from financial services companies, whether it's the fix onboarding folks up to the portfolio managers. We have everything in between. And that's
Yeah,
really what it's all about. We want as many perspectives as possible. That's how you create a vibrant community. And so, yeah, anybody involved with electronic trading should consider attending for sure. And there are
absolutely.
obviously sponsorship opportunities as well. That's always a very important part of what we're doing. Is we need to recoup the cost of these events. Again, it's not we are a nonprofit, so we don't want to lose money on events, but it is critical that we have these events again to build up that community.
Absolutely. Well, look, it's money well spent as far as I'm concerned. I think, as I say, it is one of my favourite events of the year. I think it's absolutely superb. The quality of the conversations, the quality of the people in the room, that diversity, as you say, of all the different types of this area, and it comes down to that word community. I think you are absolute masters of putting that whole thing together. So, Scott, I wish you the very, very best of luck. I can't wait to hear all about it, see some of the content, see what people are talking about, and do get involved. You know where to head. Thank you very much, Scott, for coming on the show, and thank you all for watching. We'll see you on the next episode of FinTech Focus TV. Thanks a lot.